guys, welcome back to Ravenclaw Reads. I'm Courtney and you are with me starting another weekly reading vlog. Today is Monday, September 4th. Two major things. It's the day after my 40th birthday and it is Labor Day, so I do not have work today. This has been such an amazing birthday weekend. One of the major things I wanted to do over the birthday sort of extravaganza was to do a major book haul. I haven't bought a ton of books at one time in a while, and so there's a larger Barnes & Noble about 30 minutes away from me that we went to, and then I went back to my local Barnes & Noble yesterday and just got a huge stack. I'm going to do a video, but I will just preview, like, here's a stack, and ooh, here's a stack, and I have three more coming in the mail. So quite a lot. I'm very excited about it. I don't think I'll need to do another big haul like this for the rest of the year. I might just pick up a few more books that are coming out that I had my eye on. So very exciting. But I did also get some reading done this weekend. I wrapped up August with 18 books, which was great. But I really didn't read, only maybe Monday last week I read, and then maybe Tuesday, but then I stopped. Because I really wanted to like hone in on just relaxing. I like to do that before the new month. I explained that in my last vlog. So I did pick up on the first Friday the book Proposal. This is by KJ Michie. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but that's the author. And I bought this book on Kindle. Somebody must have been talking about it because I actually purchased the book and it was so worth it. I ended up giving it 5 stars. This is a really cute book and it follows our two main characters. One is a ghostwriter and she is kind of down on her luck. She doesn't feel like anybody enjoys her writing, but then she is given an opportunity to get a huge sum of money for a book that she had pitched, as well as create a little preview for another book. And she's working on that. She meets a guy. Well, she went to high school with a guy, and they reconnect on a drunken night of hers, and he starts sort of giving her tips on a new storyline, and she starts taking the tips. But the tips happen to be like real life things that have happened between him and his ex-wife. And little does everybody know, his ex-wife is her publisher. So things ensue from there. But it was really good. Totally worth it. Like I said, 5-star read for me. Really enjoyed it. And then from there, one of the new books that I got, which I will do like a full haul. Like I said, it'll be probably next Thursday's video because this Thursday is going to be my September TBR. But I picked up Thunderhead, which is book 2 in the Scythe series by Neal Shusterman. I read Scythe last month on a random recommendation watching another channel, Olivia Reads a Latte, and I really liked it. It's very dystopian. We're in a world unlike our own. We've evolved, and we're following Citra and Rowan in the first series. And as we move on to this one, we're still following them, but in different aspects. They've kind of gone their own way. Citra is, in fact, a scythe. Rowan was not made a scythe. And he's kind of turned to the dark side. He's kind of finding his own justice in the system. And we meet lots of other characters like Gavin and Tiger, who is Rowan's best friend in the first book. But everybody's on their own missions and they're all very self-serving. The only ones who are not really are Citra, who now goes by Scythe Anastasia, and her mentor, Scythe Curry. They are the only ones who don't seem to be self-serving. They're kind of trying to protect themselves. But it's written really well. It is got a great social commentary on how things may be if we continue the way we are. And what's funny is that they have charter regions, which are like the regions outside of the main area. One of the charter regions are Texas, which I find to be hilarious. And it's like Texas, you can have weapons that only Scythes have. You can have pets and animals that nobody else can have. You don't learn about Texas in school, so you kind of go to Texas to be doing your own thing, which I find to be almost similar. No offense, anybody in Texas, but I don't know what's going on down there. So really liking it. I just have a little bit left. You can see here. I just have this little piece left that I'm going to finish today. There's no question about that. And then I'm going to move on. So I'm trying to think about what I want to read next. So a couple of things. I picked up Wings of Fire 1, which I had planned to read based on Reagan's request. And so I still need to do that. I'm only about 30 pages in, but this might be something in the background. I also am on book 12 of Babysitter's Club. Spoiler for my book haul, I did pick up book 12 with the new covers from my local Barnes & Noble. And so I might going to read this one. I just read this one with Reagan, so again, this is another one that's like really fresh in my brain. But then after that, I have Goodbye, Stacey, Goodbye, and I haven't read that in a very long time. So I'm going to read this. I almost thought about skipping it, but I was like, I just can't skip it. Like, I have to stay true to going one by one. And then I kind of thought this week, because now I have a ton of library books, I kind of thought about going to this one, The Debutante Ball, because I was interested in reading it and I feel like it might be not light, but maybe a little bit easier context-wise. But I am very much in my fantasy mood right now. And it's so funny because I had watched other vlogs talking about like as we get into fall, like all I want to do is read fantasy, and I've somehow fallen into that. So I do want to read another fantasy. I mean, really I need to finish Throne of Glass series. But part of me also just wants to start the Crescent City series and just forget Throne of Glass ever happened, because I just don't connect with it, but undecided. The other thing I might pick up this week is Drowning, which is sort of a thriller, and then it's kind of short too. It's less than 300 pages, and that might be something different. And I also have my book of the month up, but I won't start that this week. So these are my two top contenders, along with The New Girl after finishing Thunderhead. So that is Monday. I am enjoying the day off. It's a short beginning clip because I just want to enjoy my time. I want to read this book, and I will come back tomorrow and let you know how it finished up for me. Hey guys, and happy Tuesday. Today I'm hopping on to let you know what I'm reading. It's sort of the start of the business week, as we all had Labor Day off yesterday, and so just wanted to share what I had been reading. Glad that I had the extra days off yesterday or this weekend. Obviously, as I've mentioned 15 million times, it was my birthday on Sunday, which is exciting, but it kind of creates a whole busy weekend. But then we had an extra day to just chill, and as I've said before, when I take days off, we just need to bring in the 4-day week with 3 days of the weekend, because that is the best scenario. Okay, so yesterday, I think I shared that I was reading Thunderhead and I was going to finish it yesterday, and I did in fact finish it. This book is chunky. It's 504 pages, but it was so good. I think if you are just like set up in this world, you understand it and you want to get through it. And so I do have the third book on deck because it's leaving so many puzzles. So in this series, we're following Citra and Rowan. Citra and Rowan were tagged to be scythes in the first book. And in this sort of post-apocalyptic sort of world, we're still in the United States technically, but it's different. But there's no natural death anymore. And so people have to be killed or gleaned in order to manage populations. And so the fascinating thing about being gleaned is that as a scythe, you sort of take a sacred oath to do this the most humane way as possible. And the way that they found is that they use statistics from sort of our day of how people died, whether it was in car accidents or whether it was old age. There is no aging really in this world. People can live forever until they decide to glean themselves, or somebody comes to glean them. So that's the world we're living in. So in the first book, Citra and Rowan were brought on as apprentices to become scythes, and they ended up being in sort of a competition against each other on who would be the scythe. At the end of that book, Citra became a scythe because Rowan sort of threw the championship through many ups and downs. They ended up being separated, and Citra was with sort of a straight-laced scythe, and Rowan went with sort of like a dark scythe. And as we enter book 2, Rowan is not an official Scythe, and he's still on this darker path. But he's trying to create justice in a world of injustice. As they found through their apprenticeship program, there are a new order of Scythes, and this new order of Scythes are a little bit more rebellious in following the laws of being a Scythe, and so they are killing in really inhumane ways. And so Rowan starts off the book trying to right people's wrongs through his own form of justice. Citra, on the other hand, is an official Scythe, is now Scythe Anastasia, and she is working with Scythe Curry, and they are doing their jobs. Citra, having that nice heart, which is Scythe Anastasia, has decided to take on the idea that when she's going to glean somebody, she gives them 30 days to get their affairs in order and decide how they want to be gleaned. Then she comes back to them and gleans them. Everybody in the Scythehood thinks that's kind of odd. It's never been done that way, but there's nothing against the rules on that, so she does that. However, in doing that, she's left her and Scythe Curry open for someone to want to attack them. And so that's kind of what we're finding out, is like who wants to attack them. We meet several characters this time. Gavin, who knows from the Thunderhead, which is sort of like the Cloud, I would say. It's like the Thunderhead has eyes over everything. It's like the Cloud or Big Brother. It can tell you things about people. It can give you information. It kind of has like, it knows all. And so the Thunderhead has told a boy, Gavin, that somebody is after Scythe Anastasia and Scythe Curry, and they can't be told. Well, Gavin tries to stop an attack on them, and it kind of rolls from there. So we have different perspectives of the story. We have some bad Scythes coming in, trying to still control things. We have Scythe Anastasia's side, who's trying to run away from being attacked. We don't know if they're coming for her or Scythe Curry. We have Rowan, who is trying to invoke his own sort of justice, and then we have Gavin. And so it was really good. It got just a little bit long towards the end, maybe around the 400, 350 page mark, that I just was waiting for it to happen, whatever it is. But then it did. And was very pleased with the outcome. And as soon as I closed the book, I was like, I have to read the next book. It's not next up in my TBR, but it's very close because it left on such a cliffhanger, that if you've read it, you know. So that was this book yesterday. Very long explanation. You can tell I like it. I think it's a really great series. I believe this is a YA series, but really good. So then I wasn't done. I went to Babysitters Club Book 12, Claudia and the New Girl. I recently picked this up, and this will be in my book haul, as well as this one. But I picked this up because I have a copy, but I just wanted this copy. And I recently read the graphic novel with Reagan. But this book really is good to me. I ended up giving it 5 stars. Oh, I gave this one 5 stars as well. This one could really be 4.5, but on Goodreads, I give it 5 stars. And I haven't been really good about like writing the review of like what I really thought about it. And so sorry to those that follow me on Goodreads, but I just have been reading and moving on. But I'm giving you all of my info here and what I think about them. So I rated this 5 stars. I thought it was really good. This book follows Claudia. I love Claudia books. And as we know, she's our artsy queen. And she meets a new girl who comes to school, Ashley. And Ashley's also very artsy, but comes off weird, as they say in the book. So she's very, I think in now terms, she's like kind of quirky, independent vibes. And they start hanging out as they prepare to do to participate in an art show in about 4 weeks. And the conflict becomes because Ashley wants Claudia to just devote all of her energy to art and sculpting and like curating her talent. And that requires Claudia to like miss club meetings and not do her schoolwork. And her friends get really upset with her. One thing about Babysitters Club is like they have each other's back, and then they often get so upset with each other. So that's a really interesting dynamic. And they're not really good at communicating because they're 12 and 13. But it's a great story on like how to balance, how to speak up for yourself. And so this is what I love about books of our day, of like, now, I mean, the books now are entertaining for kids and they have really great topics. But like when I was a kid reading Babysitter's Club and things like that, I was reading books to really learn how to navigate situations. And so, not that I had this situation, but it's like in the back of my brain, right? Like if this were to come up, I know exactly what I could do. So I gave it a 5-star. I thought it was really good. So after this book comes the first super special, because I'm reading in publication order, not book number order. And that is, what is it? BSC All Aboard or something like that. So excited to read that. So here's what I'm reading this week. Not necessarily this week, but at least today. So last night I was pulling out my September TBR books. I'm filming that next. And I immediately forgot that I just picked this up on the 29th. And I was like, stop the presses. Of course I'm reading this next. So I started this last night on page 30 or 31. I lost my spot, so I have to see where I left off. But this follows the brothers of the Hawthorne Legacy series. And so I've just barely started. I don't have thoughts yet. But as always with these series, chapters are short, the pages fly by. And so I'm excited to see what they get into. It seems like, what is it, Jameson and what's her name are together. It's really descriptive. But yeah, I'm just starting, so I don't have any stake in this yet. But this is my focus for the beginning of the week, and then I will probably throw something light in here next. So that is my Tuesday update. Kind of a lot, but I will follow up with you guys later. Oh, I did do sprints last night too. That's what helped me finish this one, and those are good. But I will continue. Now, this should be interesting. School starts back tomorrow for the kids. My doctorate program starts tomorrow. So how much reading can I get done when weeks are busy and I'm reading other academic texts will be interesting. So that's it for Tuesday. We'll check in later. Bye, guys. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. It's a little bit later in the day, just taking my lunch break. Wanted to hop on and tell you what's going on today. So it's Wednesday, it's the first day of school for my kids. So got them all ready. And then my husband's home today, so I couldn't like get on the camera. That's his workstation back there. So, but anyway, it's pretty busy today. It's like a lot of, it's like when you work from home and your kids are off, there's like a lot of splitting your time. And now that they're back in school, it gives me a chance to like get caught up on things that I needed to do, and just have like more focused time. So that's been great. Okay, so let me tell you about yesterday. So yesterday I committed to reading 100 pages of The Brothers Hawthorne. Well, another 50 pages to get to page 100. So I'm actually on page 98, chapter 21, and y'all, it's a struggle. I don't know what it is about this that's just not it for me right now. I don't want to say that because I love this series, I love this author, and so I'm just giving it time. I'm never going to DNF this book. I'm going to read it, but it just doesn't hit the way I wanted it to. I kind of wanted like a prequel to the Inheritance Games, and we are getting a little bit of that, sort of the back and forth of like how the brothers interacted with their grandfather prior to him being dead like 12 years ago. But there's some characters in here that just pop up that I feel like I should know. So Grayson and Gigi, obviously Grayson, but I don't know Gigi. I don't remember Gigi. Should I know Gigi? If you read any of the Inheritance Games, comment down below to refresh my memory. But like I said, I'm going to keep going with it. I'm not giving up because I like it. I like the author. I like the idea of it. So I'm not going to I'm not going to DNF it. And then yesterday too, I whipped out my Kindle Fire, and sometimes I just like to see color. And so when you go into your Kindle, as we all know, you just get black and white, and sometimes I like to see color. So I pulled out the Kindle Fire. So last night I was picking up Plot Twist again. I read that right before bed. I have no idea what's going on. Like I said, I was 8% into it, and then I read a couple more pages, and I was like, I don't even know what's happening. So I might just send that back to Kindle Unlimited, unfortunately. but I think I talked about this yesterday. If I didn't, I will share now. But okay, so also we have Goodbye Stacy, Goodbye. I have that from the library, but again, I'm reading them in publication order, so I need to read Babysitter's Club on Board or something like that, the first super special first. But yesterday I talked about Maybe Meant to Be, maybe in my I filmed my September TBR yesterday, so maybe there. But Maybe Meant to Be by K.L. Walther came onto my Kindle yesterday. I forgot I bought it because I always forget that I buy them. If you pre-order books on Kindle, where can you find them? Somebody tell me, because I can never see where my pre-orders are, and so then I go to the bookstore and I'm buying duplicates. I also bought It Found Us by Lindsay Curry. I'm saving that for next month. She wrote Scritch Scratch and a couple other books that I read over the past year, and I really like her writing. And then 2 books from the library came in today. Reading Up a Storm by Eva Gates, cozy mystery, and Best Served Hot, a cute little romance story. So lots and lots and lots of options. It's either feast or famine. It's like either you have all the options for reading or nothing. So my goal is to continue pushing on this. And if I can be done by the weekend with this, that would be great, because usually on the weekend I'm able to knock out a few books. And so I need to figure out what I will do next, something short after this. But that is my plan for today. So there are over 400 pages in this book. So let's see, Wednesday, read to 200, Thursday. Yeah, I can read it by Friday. If I'm really diligent, I can try to read this by Friday. And I hope if it speeds up, then I'll read it even faster, but we shall see. Also, to note, I do have to give back this book, Iron Gold. I was so excited about it, but I didn't realize it's like the second in the series. So it looks like Red Rising, then Golden Sun, then Morning Star, and then this might be like a standalone, but I have no idea or context for the other books, so I feel like I need to do that first. So those are my updates for today. I will come back tomorrow. Hey guys, hopping back on. It's a little bit later, done with the work day. All the kids are back home from school. It was a great day for everybody. I didn't even reference in my last clip that I was wearing my Team Jeremiah hoodie, which just ate today. It was so great. It was just so cute. But anyway, I wanted to hop on and show you 3 books that I got today in the mail that I've been waiting for, like literally. This first is The Long Game by Elena Armas. She wrote The Spanish Love Deception and The American Roommate Experiment. Both of them were just mid to me, but it was like a new book, so I had to pre-order it. And then my book of the month came in today. So the first one I got, as I shared with you guys, was You Again. It is a romance. It looks like second chance romance. So I'm excited to read that. And then because it was my birthday month, I got a free add-on, and I decided to get Lisa Jewell's None of This Is True. Everybody's been ranting and raving about this. Kind of mixed reviews. Some people have said it's really good. Some people have said it's just okay. I'm going to take my own opinion and check it out. So that is what I got in the mail. So excited. I'm still reading The Brothers Hawthorne, so that's what I'm focusing on. But add it to the stack of books I'm going to read. The stack is stacking. I love it. Hey guys, happy Thursday. It is just over the Thursday. Kids are at school again, like I said, getting work done. Yeah, I haven't had any coffee today, so that's a big thing for me. So yesterday, I continued reading The Brothers Hawthorne. I am now on page 206. I'm still not loving it. I think the problem is this. So in this story, we are following mostly Jameson and Grayson, but there's kind of 2 different things going on. So Grayson is in a plot involving a school friend, Gigi, and her sister, which kind of mirrors the whole original incident of the 2 sisters that both liked him and the one passed away, which is how the whole like inheritance games backstory happened. So there's that one. And then there's Jameson and Avery, who are on a whole different quest of infiltrating this secret society of poker players or some type of card game play. I don't know. I honestly I want to love this because I've been waiting a year for it. I ate Inheritance Games up. I read them so quickly. There was no hesitation. There was no lulls. It's like a 5-star series for me. I think most of the books at 5s or 4s. I loved it. And I just don't know what's happening here. I really, really don't. So I am going to finish this. Like, I really want to finish it today. But yeah, so it was a good series for me, and I'm just not feeling the same with this book. I am going to finish it today just for the simple fact that I am done reading this, and I want to move on to my huge stack of ready-to-go books that are so good. This reminds me of like how I was so excited for Bloodmarked, the second book with Legendborn, and it just didn't happen for me. So sad, and gonna finish that. And then I took a break from reading this and picked up Babysitters Club. Now, I am reading them in order. That hasn't changed, but I had book 42 on hold for a while, and then I missed the hold, and then it came back to me, so I'm just going to read this one. This one is Jessie and the Dance School Phantom. We're already like 12% in. There's like 3 people on my back waiting for this book, so I'm going to get that knocked out as well. So those are my updates for Thursday. I'm going to try to come back on later because I feel like I'm a little chaotic right now, but we'll update you more later. Hey guys, hopping back on. It's a little bit later after work. Just wanted to show you a couple of things to update you. First, I have been watching the new New York Housewives. It's on Peacock. I don't know if anyone else has been watching it, but I kind of low-key like it. I don't know any of the people's names on it. I'm only on episode 3, but you have to go into it like I am an OG Housewives watcher, so you have to go into it with like a completely blank slate of like new women, new show. It's not at all a continuation, so I kind of like it. But I did pick up today Things We Left Behind. You guys know I was going to get it. This is the 3rd book of the Knock 'Em Out series. I read the other 2 and love a nice floppy, thick romance. The reason I picked this up was because it was 30% off. So, and then I had a $5 reward. Does anybody keep the rewards? As soon as I get them, I literally stop it. What? I didn't realize. I think it's printed on, but still. Oh my gosh. Okay, so sorry, that threw me off. I had a $5 reward and my birthday coupon. Anyway, long story short, I paid $2.10 for this book. So that brings me joy. I never stack my rewards though. As soon as they're like, do you have a reward? Do you want to use it? Absolutely. $5, $10, $15, put it on. I'm not stacking them. But yes, so I picked that up. And then I did decide to softy enough Hawthorne Brothers because as I said before, I'm 200 pages in. I have no idea what's going on with the story. And it's just not doing it justice. I loved the series. I love the writing, so I know it's me. Mentally, I'm not in the right space for it. So instead of just like blowing through it or not really, I'm just going to DNF it for now and come back to it at a different time. So then I decided to pick up Forget Me Not because the back of this book sounded amazing. You guys will see that September TBR. Well, it's already out, so you should go check that out if you haven't already. But I'm going to read this along with my Babysitters Club book to get through the weekend or to the weekend. And then this weekend, I'm going to tear this down and something else. And so that's going to keep me moving. So that's the update for Thursday. Hey guys, happy Saturday. Welcome to the end of the vlog. I was just getting ready to edit this vlog for tomorrow and realized I don't have the last day. So I didn't come on yesterday at all. It ended up being really busy at work for a Friday, which I have so many thoughts about that, but it was busier yesterday. And I was so zoned into my book that I didn't get to jump on. So let me just tell you what I've read so far. I'm on like my reading grind right now, so I don't want to lose that momentum. So yesterday I finished Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I ended up giving this 4 stars. It really was so good. I highly recommend. 4 stars is still a very solid rating. Don't take that as it's not. This story follows Amma and Elliot. And Amma is a wedding planner and Elliot is a florist, and Amma and Elliot used to date, figuratively date, with no labels. But we find out in the beginning that something happened, and they're now asked to work together for a very high profile influencer style wedding. And they have to work their things out for this wedding to work. I gave it 4 stars because the planning of the wedding was too much of a main character for me. I wanted to hear more about Amma and Elliot. They are the cutest couple. They are such a great couple. I love the way they're described. This book is pretty spicy, but it's like tastefully spicy and realistically spicy, if that makes sense. And so I wanted to see more of their relationship continue to build. I wanted to see them go out on dates. I wanted to see like more of that. But everything is centered around this wedding, and I get that's kind of the whole point of it. But that's the reason why I give it 4 stars instead of 5. I highly, highly, highly recommend this book. It is such a great, quick read. It was like 328 pages, 29 pages. And it just flew by. Like I said, the wedding started getting a little bit irritating to me. So I was like, I don't care about the wedding, but it's sort of written in a countdown way in dual timeline. So we have, or not dual timeline, but flashbacks. So we have the wedding countdown. It's like 7 months away. And then we also have like 3 years ago in counting down from when they first met to when they stopped talking. And so really loved this. It's going to be one of my best reads of the year. Then, by popular demand and by request, I finished Wings of Fire, book 1, the Dragonette Prophecy. As I was saying, Reagan wanted me to read this. This is her favorite series. She loves the graphic novels. I picked up the non-graphic novel book. It was kind of stalled. Not for any reason except it wasn't a priority, and then she just kept saying like, you gotta read it. So she passed me over the graphic novel. I finished that today. Really cute. I love jumping into books that my kids also love because it's a great common ground for us to discuss, and she gets to share her passion with me. And so we're going to debrief on this book, and then she's already got book 2 ready for me. And then last night, so going backwards, I read another couple chapters in Jessie and the Dance School Phantom. I'm only on chapter 3. This is like not a pressing read for me, so it's going pretty slow, but I know it is a library hold, so I need to finish that pretty quickly before it goes back, so it's been sitting in my Libby for a minute. But before I finished that, I decided I was also going to read Drowning this weekend, and I'm a little bit more than halfway done with this book. This book is something out of my comfort zone, but I saw it on Olivia Reads a Latte, and it sounded pretty good from her description, and it was pretty short. So for me, if it's a short book, it's like a low-risk book. It's not going to take me a lot of time to read it, and I would have gotten it done. This book is by T.J. Newman. This book is following the events post a plane crash. That is so against like my normal because flying is not my favorite thing. I'm getting better with it, but I'm not as bothered as I thought I would be. What's interesting about this, though, is that it started off really, really strong, setting up this like tense moment of when everything happens and how people react, and now it's starting to slow down and drag a little bit as we start to figure out how to rescue people. And so that part for me is getting a little not very good. So I'm trying to get it done. I feel like this is gonna be a 3-star for me, just because it's good, but it's not great. It's just right in the middle, and I think 3 stars is totally fine. But I definitely am going to try to finish this today or early morning tomorrow. And then finish up Jessie and the Dance School Phantom. And then finally, I'm going to read Empire of Storms. That is the next book I need to finish in the Throne of Glass series. I just want to get done with that series. It was on my list this month to read Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn, which are the next 2 books. I was tandem reading them at one point, and now I just want to get them done. And then after that, I don't know, I'm kind of running through my TBR really, really at a good speed. So I have 6 physical books left on my TBR, plus 2 digital. So we'll see where that goes. But that is it for this vlog. I hope you guys really enjoyed. I feel like I had a great reading week, consistent. I love the beginning of a month. It's always a great time to get the reading done and started. So yeah, it's been great. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like this vlog, check out some of my other content. I do book videos, vlogs, tech reviews of Kindles. And if any of this content is something you like, be sure to subscribe. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers and would love to have you join this community. So for those that are already subscribed, thanks so much. Please comment. Let's engage in the chat, and I will see you in my next video. I post on Thursdays and Sundays. Okay, bye guys.